Here we are again with Jack and Brad for another exciting, titillating, spine tingling, bone crushing episode of Tales from the Crawl Space. Of course, Jack is over to one side of me. I can't never decide which side he's on the video, but buddy, how you doing?
Doing all right. How are you, my friend?
I have had an interesting couple of weeks. It's just and I think everybody can relate to that. All you cheese bags, cheese baguettes, and non-cheese bag listeners out there can pretty much relate. It's season. What can I say? The season
Mhm.
is upon us, and I am getting my ass handed to me. It's just incredible. Out here in the Midwest, it is hornet season, and today is the first day, with the exception of Wednesday, where I had to get some dental work done and took the day off, where I had been I've done nothing but hornets. I mean, shit. Yesterday I had a bed bug treatment, and the rest of my day was bald face hornets, bald face hornets, bald face hornets.
Oh,
I
I
I
would have
drove,
loved that.
dude. I was driving around in my bee suit. I didn't take the fucker off after from one job to the next. I was just like, take the bonnet off, get in the truck. People are staring at me and shit. I'm just like, yeah, that's right. I'm a pest guy. Fuck you. And yeah, it was pretty interesting. Um, Cheese bags. This message is for you. Please get on Pest Control Humor Depot, my favorite group. There is the funniest fucking hornet nest picture on there right now. Jack, I don't know if you seen it yet or
I haven't
not.
seen it yet.
Oh, dude, I'm not gonna spoil it for you. Just
Okay,
just get on there after the show and take a look at it. You're gonna want to post it. You're probably gonna want to post this fucker on the website. It is
I
it
will.
is it is hilarious. But anyway, so we're not here to talk about hornets, but we're probably going to, because it is fucking hornet season. Um, Here we are once again talking about the worst infestations that you and I have encountered.
Oh yeah.
And so, Jack, we had to do a part two on this one because there were just so many responses to it, and we really appreciate that from everybody.
Hell yeah. Hell
You
yeah.
know, and I I got to tell you though, this week has been pretty interesting. A lot of people know about my tooth. I've been having teeth problems, and went in Wednesday, got it taken care of. I am. It's not that I'm a pussy with the dentist. It's just I'm smart about it. If I'm going to sit in a chair for that long, I want to be knocked out. So yeah, I will opt for the sedation dentistry, and which is great. The dentist sends a prescription for 2 Halcyon over to your local drugstore. You pick them up an hour before the procedure. You take it. Make sure you got somebody, hopefully your significant other, driving you there.
Hmm.
Next thing you know, you're on the way home, and your teeth are fixed and everything's good. Couple of abscesses, and it was freaking horrific trying to work under those conditions, because you got to
Oh
put your game
God.
face on, and you're just like, hey, how you doing? It's good to see you. Fuck, somebody kill me now.
And
And
every strenuous activity, your face is going.
oh, yeah, because bait stations bending over when you got something
Oh
like that going on.
man.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
fucking murder.
God, that's miserable.
Oh man, but
That's miserable.
thanks to Dr. Carey and the good folks at Complete Dentist Family Dentistry in Fishers, Indiana, I'm on the mend. I haven't felt but this was good in a long time. And
Hot
and you
damn.
know that when you're in that much pain and then all of a sudden you're out of pain, you feel like Julie Andrews on the fucking mountain in The Sound of Music. You're just like,
The hills are
spinning
alive
around and shit,
with the
man. It's
sound of
great.
music.
And so it's going to come and go before our next episode. So I do want to wish a happy early birthday to my wonderful boss, William the Merciful of Trio Pest Control.
Happy
We
birthday.
Oh man, we had a great time this morning, Jack. And I
I
got up,
heard.
I got up real early as fuck and made a big batch of biscuits and gravy.
Oh.
And I'm not trying to be braggadocious here, but my sausage gravy is legendary. It's a Harvey birthright. And
I'm gonna have to find that out in October.
I think that can be arranged, Jack.
Hot damn.
Yeah, you got all excited now. But yeah, I took a crock pot full of biscuits and gravy. There were no survivors. I mean, I took, okay. There were 6 of us, because it was me, William the Merciful, the lovely Alexis. We've got Gribble, and we got Rogan, and we also had a retiree, Richard, came in, and we broke bread, or broke biscuit in this case, and yeah, I had a crock pot full of that. I had I
Oh.
had I had about 20 biscuits. There were no survivors.
Oh man.
That got wiped out. Oh man, everybody brought their appetite game, and it didn't disappoint because it was all fucking gone. It's
My
like,
big ass can put away some sausage gravy now.
I'm telling you what, man, Bill did a pretty admirable job of it.
Well, Bill's no shrinking violet either.
Oh no, 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 but my gravy is a comebacker, so so it's like you're gonna come back for more,
Mm.
and lavished him with gifts of chocolate liquor and a wonderful tumbler, which everybody can see on the Facebook page.
It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
And so a fun time was had by all, and then I'm standing there outside looking at my truck, knowing that I have to get in it and run stops today. and here I am. I'm standing there, just I'm in electric gravy land, man.
You're
I was
needing a
just like,
nap. It's like,
oh man, totally needed a nap. I got out there, banged out a couple sales, went and did a bed bug job, and that leads me to I actually had a worst infestation today, Jack.
oh,
So I'm going to this place. It's a bed bug job. I checked it out last week. Everything seemed cool. But this time I go in, and I'm going around, and I'm doing my apprehend thing, and I'm like, okay, it's all good. I get done. I get back into the truck. I'm sitting here. I go ahead and finish out the invoice. I get on the depot and check a few memes out, and I'm feeling some shit, and I'm looking down. I was like, holy shit, that looks like a flea. Well, fuck me, it is a flea. And then and there's another flea, and then there's another flea. I look down at my legs. I've got clusters of fleas fucking
oh
hanging on my
man.
knees and on my legs, and I'm looking at my shirt, and it's like I got this fucking armada of fleas just kind of working their way up towards my face and towards my beard, and that's a no fly zone, or a no flea zone. And I get that. I'm just like, ah! I jump up. I get out of the truck. I'm gonna go to my truck. I got 565. Okay. This may or may not have happened if Ag is listening, but I get out of my truck and grab my 565, and I'm just like, fleas are just like rolling off of me and shit, and I'm just like, motherfuck, because I'm out of Sterafab, so I'm gonna grab whatever is there. If I had a can of wasp freeze within arm's reach, that fucking shit would have been on there, because Max, my boy, he does not tolerate fleas, and I am not bringing some fleas home. So I get home. I finally, all the fleas that I can see are now off of me. I spray the seat of the truck, get back in, and I'm driving home, windows down, because I'm just totally reeking of 565. And I get home, and I was like, I get in the garage. I do my usual routine of my clean out routine, which is drop the door, turn on the light, grab a garbage bag, strip naked, throw a Vapona strip in the bag, close it, shoes, suspenders, everything, hat, you name it, it all goes in there. Vapona strip. I close it up. I walk in the door, and then I just make a beeline to the shower, hit the showers. It's worked so far, for bed bugs, fleas, etc.
right.
And sometimes some really pernicious cockroach cleanouts. Max, my boy, he's crated. When we're gone, he has a lovely wooden crate. He loves it. It's his den. It's exactly the opposite side from the garage door that I open up to go in. And when I come home in the day, if my lovely bride is not here, she will, he'll get all excited. He'll start doing that dog yodeling thing and be excited until I open up the crate so he can bounce around and be a happy guy, right? It didn't happen today. I'm stark fucking naked. I opened the door and his eyes just went. His mouth opened up a little bit. He did not yodel. He did not bark. He did not bounce. He's just like, he was at a loss for words because I'm walking in the suit that God gave me,
and all your
and
glory.
I'm getting ready to head to the shower. That was the funniest fucking thing. I was like,
It's like,
yeah,
Dad, am I supposed to see that?
that's right, man. It's like, yeah, it's like now he's either got some serious trauma or some confused feelings going on. So, but yeah. This flea job was pretty bad. Now, usually, sometimes you'll walk in a door, and if somebody set off bombs and shit, the fleas will be hanging around the outside of the door, the front door,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll be like, "Oh, let's wait here, right? We can breathe here. Oh, look, a person." Oh. And
Right.
yes, yeah, and yes, fleas are French. Vive la, yeah, and
Jump on
fucking
the human. Jump on the human.
fuzzy human, and fucking, but then when you get in, it's like you're looking around like John Travolta looking for fleas, right?
Mm-hmm.
And but that's because they're all at the fucking doorway. And this wasn't the case. It's like I had no idea. I was ambushed,
Wow.
and yeah, it was the damnedest thing. And I didn't realize it until I got because I mean, when I'm on my bedbug game, it's like I'm focusing completely on bedbugs. I might have felt them, any other time, but it's like it's one. I'm there to kill bedbugs. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. So Jack, I understand you still have a whole lot of stories hanging out.
I do. But I have to say, the worst flea situation I ever had was not when I was in pest control, but it's when I was a flooring installer,
Mm-hmm.
and we had to go in and take up old carpet to put new carpet down. And when there'd be a house that we suspect would have fleas, we'd pull our socks up on the outside of our pants and walk in and look down at our ankles, and you'd start
Uh-huh.
seeing them accumulate on your socks. So yeah,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
mean, like covered, just so it was
Mm-hmm.
nasty. But I digress.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead. What?
No,
What?
no, 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 no. I was laughing at your digression.
Um, okay. JN had a story. He says, I got to this house. People had health issues, and the home was kind of dark. I could smell the roaches as soon as I'm inside. I get to the kitchen, turn around to talk to customers, and seen a large rat run across the floor. So I started opening cabinets to treat, and I noticed the grout was moving. I'm like, what the fuck? Am I having an LSD flashback from high school? Pull out my flashlight, and to my surprise, they didn't have any grout. It was all roaches, the tile under the cabinets, and the backsplash. No grout, all roaches. I've had worse since then, but that's the most memorable.
Oh, holy shit! Yikes!
Yeah, holy shit.
Oh man. Yeah, 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 and to have a rat to throw on top of it, you know.
When the roaches are replacing structural features in the house.
Yeah, exactly. Oh no, no, don't get rid of those. Those are load bearing roaches.
Well, what was your worst roach situation? What
My
was your
worst
worst
roach
one?
situation, I would probably say would be like one of my first, and it is actually a two-pronged thing because, I mean, I was like it was like my second day on in the industry at the Big Green Tea. Um, the boss took me out to a place called the Meadows, and the Meadows was, Section 8 housing, and so it's notorious for just being a complete and total shithole. We get out there, and he's like, look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this, and he's treating and stuff, going in the kitchen. He sticks his head underneath the counter, and he grabs a can of 270, which was Dursban, for those of you who were born, sometime this century. Um, but it's it was a setup just like 565, the can, the nozzle, and the little straw. He puts that in my hand. He goes, take that little straw and stick it up between those two cabinets. And so I did, and when I shot it, fucking roaches just come raining down on my hand, crawling up my arm, underneath the cuff of my shirt because I was wearing long sleeve shirts because it's Big Green Tea, and I was just like flipping my shit, trying to get him off of me and everything, and he's over there just laughing his ass off, and he goes, "Oh, that ain't nothing. Look down here." He opens up the sink. kitchen sink, and the cabinet under the kitchen sink opens it up, and it's completely covered in cockroaches.
Mm.
And he goes, "Watch this," and he sprays it with some more 270, and they're just marching everywhere, and they're crawling up my legs and shit. And I'm just, my second day, I didn't know what to do. And it's like I didn't want to flip out and act like a complete pansy in front of my new boss. So
Right.
I just kind of stood there. He goes, "Well, do something." I was like, I just brushed him off. It was like, in a just a complete state of shock. We do a couple more units. We get back in the truck. He drives off. He goes, "What'd you think of that?" I said, he goes, "Yeah, that sucked, but he goes, "Well, you made it through." I said, "Yeah, he goes, "It don't get too much worse. This job don't get too much worse than that. So, you'll make it." And fuck, that was 33 years ago. Um, that was German roaches. I'd say the worst larger roaches, the American roaches and stuff would be the old hospital down in downtown Indianapolis. It's called Wishard Memorial Hospital. It's no longer standing, and but it was built around the time that Jesus walked the earth, but and no, it was in 1920s, so but they had these old tunnels underneath where the steam pipes and whatnot were put out.
Oh yeah.
Brick tunnels, the brick arch and that. Actually, very very cool tunnels, with architecture and stuff. Um, Down in the radiology, they were having problems seeing those big ass American roaches, and so that was in my logbook. I went down to take a look, and they go, "We got this door right here. It's where they're coming out from under." I opened that door, and on the other side of that door is one of those arched tunnels that I was talking about, and it was where the pipes from the shitters come down. One
Hmm.
of them was broken because they were made out of terracotta or whatever the ancient Romans used, and the fucking American cockroaches were just it was an arch of American cockroaches as far down that hallway
Yeah.
as I could see, and it was just bigger, bigger, like, dude, Jack, I swear, some of them were fucking
Oh yeah.
well over 2.5 inches long. I mean, they say, well, the average size for an American cockroach is an inch and a half. Oh, fuck you. It is
No,
not.
no, no,
Yeah,
no.
yeah, yeah. Stick your head in a goddamn, pre-Roman era tunnel, and you tell me that the average size is an inch and a half long. Fuck that. It was just, I like to shit my britches when I saw that. And one of the attending nurses was there, and I just look over here, and she had just turned white as a ghost, right? And this woman was a woman of color, and she just went pale as fuck. And I was like, I got closed the door and ran back out to my truck. And at Wishart Hospital, that's a feat because you have to park in this county, and the hospital's in this county, and you're going through a myriad maze of hallways, elevators,
Right.
stairwells. You have to solve three riddles at the troll at the bridge, and before you can get to the parking lot. And I get there, I grab my larva lure. And again, to you people that were born this century, larva lure was a granular bait that had a product called Propoxer.
Hmm.
Propoxer, like Dursban, has been banned because motherfuckers out there don't know how to didn't abused it, and now it's gone. And it was probably one of the best
Oh, it
things
was so
ever
good. That shit was
for
so good.
for American cockroaches, for Oriental cockroaches, for fucking for crickets, for silverfish, for earwig,
Hmm.
for all those things that live in the dark, damp shit and like to slither and stuff. And you know what else they were good for? Cellar spiders. You know why? Because this shit was so good at killing the cellar spiders' food that the fucking cellar spiders were not hanging around when you treated with larva lure. But you're just gonna have to take my word for it because it's not fucking around
Yeah.
anymore. Especially
Niban is the red-headed stepchild of Larvalure. It is a pale imitation.
night. I'm trying to think about my comparison. Niban is the Dick Sargent of roach bait,
And not the Dick York.
not the Dick York. No, no.
Right. I
Larva
get it.
lure is
See?
Dick York.
Again, you have
Yeah,
to be born in the
yeah.
1900s to get that one.
That's right. That's right. Or a millennial insomniac, and you can see reruns of these things on
Well,
Nick at
I
Night or
watched it
whatever.
just for Elizabeth Montgomery
I just
anyway.
dated
So
myself and said Nick at Night. Nick
Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon. Oh God! But anyway, okay. Back to my story. Propoxer, or Larvalure, grabbed the big jug of it, the big fuck. Went down there and was just feeding the chickens with it. It's like,
Hmm.
and I'm doing it from the doorway because there ain't no fucking way. I'm sorry. I've been in the business for 10, 15 years at that time. There was no fucking way I was walking down that tunnel because those things just creeped me out. So, I was supposed to feed the chicks. I was like, I closed it. I was at the hospital doing service 3 days a week. So I said, I'll see you on Friday. This was Wednesday. I go in. I'll tell you how fast Larvalure works. There was fucking a layer of dead cockroaches,
Stack of
just
them. Yep.
yeah, a stack of them about 4 inches deep in that tunnel. And I said, okay, we need to get somebody out here to fix this shit pipe now, because I wasn't even going to say, we recommend you fix this shit pipe because it was falling on deaf ears with all those live roaches in there. But now they were dead. It's like, yeah, let's go ahead and take care of it. And
Right.
then I shut the door, and that was that. And
Mm.
last American cockroach I saw was a place over in the old Western Electric building. This is where 99% of all the telephones that were in the United States were made. And I'm not talking about the phones we're using now, like, our little cell phones. I'm talking about the big, heavy, desk set, rotary dial headphones.
Melamine framed
Yeah, the
phones.
ones that you could pick up and kill somebody with,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Those phones. Yeah, the big, the Bakelite melamine phones and shit.
Yep.
And but they used to be made there. Well, they don't make them anymore. So the building is now a, what do you call it, multi-use, or yeah, multi-use building. It's like
Hmm.
they rent little bits of it out to everybody. Yeah, I see them there, and but Nyban does a decent job of controlling them, but it takes forever.
It
It's
does.
nowhere near as fast, effective, and
No.
and I'll be honest with you, Jack. I used to love the smell of Larvalure. It smelled like malted milk.
Hmm.
I
I
love that
remember.
smell.
I
I
remember.
love that smell. And every time and I don't mind the smell of Nyban when it's in the container, but it just reminds this every time I smell it, it reminds me that it's not fucking Larvalure.
Right.
God damn. But anyway, so
American roaches. When I was in military school, my military school was broken up into junior school and upper school. Junior school was
mhm,
fifth grade to eighth grade. Upper school was ninth to 12th, and a
mhm,
postgraduate year. And when I was in the junior school, we had our own ranking system. So being a lieutenant in junior school, when you got up to upper school, you started all over again. Well, I
mhm,
was in eighth grade. I was an officer, and I was the officer of the day. So at the end of the day, when they played taps and everybody's supposed to have lights out, I had to go around to make sure the lights in the gym and everything else were off
mhm,
before I ended my day on guard duty. And our gym had an entrance to tunnels that were bomb shelters that spidered underneath the entire school. They had big,
mhm,
huge tunnels. We had an underground pool. We had an in-ground pool, in the building, in the basement, and it was a creepy ass pool. So the whole
mhm.
place was damp, and cadets would leave crackers and shit laying around. We had big ass American roaches too, these huge ones, and I'd walk in and I hit the lights real quick and run in because they'd all start scattering because the floor would be covered in them. I mean, like I said,
Uh,
about 2 inches long. And when I got to the upper school, we'd catch them and erase them. And we'd put white out on the backs, put numbers on their backs and race them down
mhm.
the hallway. I'd kept mine in a jar of Tang to let them get all hopped up on vitamin C and sugar. Um, the winner won the money. The loser got his stepped on. And we used to race
Nice.
them. And these Mennonites used to bring in these big ass chocolate chip cookies. And I
Uh-huh.
watched one of those American roaches drag an entire massive chocolate chip cookie across the hallway. I was like, fuck it, man.
Oh
If he
man.
can move that summage, he can have it. So
Damn, now you're making me want chocolate chip cookies. Fuck.
he's
Yeah,
first
please
something about malted
hold the
milk.
roach.
Yeah, hold the roach.
Hold the roaches. Okay.
All right.
I got
What's up?
one.
Oh, you
Yeah.
do? Let me hear
Yeah,
it.
I do. Now I just gotta fucking find it. Fucking Facebook. You try to read shit off of Facebook, and if you let it sit too long, it's like Jack was just bitching about before the show. It's
Yeah.
like it'll reset and go all the way back up to the top, and you
Oh, you
lose
gotta
everything.
search for
But
everything again.
anyway,
Motherfucker.
so okay, yeah, Josh, hold on to your nipples. I'm about to mention your name,
Oh.
Josh Talbert.
Just Hubbard.
Yeah, he goes, okay, so here's my story. Doing pest control for housing in Indy and came across a 5-bedroom townhouse that, upon initial inspection, I had just thought it was a bad roach infestation in the kitchen. Being a busy day, I found what I needed to determine it needed an Actisol. Come back next week, and once I get upstairs to start spraying, I notice a roach crawl into a door jamb. When I opened the door, about 200 or 300 fell down from the door.
Oh, damn.
After opening up all the other doors upstairs, I must have found no less than 2,000. Needless to say, I grabbed the vacuum and spent a good 45 minutes before even firing up the Actisol to remove as much as I could. I normally don't wear Tyvek suits, but this one was one of the exceptions. By the time I was done, my bag was full on the vacuum, and the walls and the floors looked like they were moving.
Mm.
Took no less than 6 full treatments before I was able to call it done. By far the worst roach job I've done in my almost 9.5 years in the biz.
Damn.
Side note, and everybody hold on to your heartstrings. It's gonna get wholesome here. Side note, I also saved a dog from this unit when going to unit week after initial treatment. I asked where the dog was, as he was very loving, and they told me they got rid of him because they were moving. I found him outside the back door and took him home and gave him a home with my parents.
Oh, cool.
Very
Good deal.
good.
Very
Very
nice.
good. So thank you very much for that, Josh. Yep. And I remember that story, man. That was pretty awesome. I love it when I hear stories like that. I've got one of the technicians that used to work with me at the Scarlet Letter and now works at me again at Trio, which is the only pest control company I will ever mention by name here on the show.
I got one of those. Yeah.
Because they're fucking wonderful. And if you're looking at the screen, I'm trying to keep my upper lip right there on the very top of the mic, so it looks like I'm munching on it. Anyway, oh, I don't know. There's a technician. We call him Gribble because he just reminds us of Gribble, Dale Gribble, and but yeah, he's doing a hotel here in Indianapolis, and when he's getting done, he noticed a dog out on a rope, tied to a rope in the back, and it just looked so pathetic and shit. And he's like, "I want to take that dog. I want to take that dog." And me being, having to toe the line, it's like you can't do that right now. No, you can't just, He goes, "Well, I'm going to go back when my shift is over, and if that dog's still here, I'm going to take it." And it's like, I can't tell, it's like you just can't do it now. But if you happen to go back there and you do find that dog, I hope you do take it. And he did, and he got it. He got it squared away, got it fed, and got it sent on its way to a better life. So yeah, so my hats are
Awesome.
off to anybody that does that for another living creature. We spend a lot of time killing shit, so not only is it the right thing to do, but it's a damn good adjustment to your karma. That's for damn sure.
It is. It is. All right, moving on here. Wait, I got a question for you, Brad. I got a question for you. It is almost 30 minutes into the show. Do you know where your Tony Spangler tumbler is?
Oh, let's see. I don't know which one. Are you talking about the Tales from the Crawl Space one, or are we talking about the luscious, vivacious follow-on?
Oh, yes. Or the Fort Union Military Academy one.
I was going to bring that up when you were talking about the roach races. As I noticed that you were having your quaffs out of that this evening.
I am enjoying my unsweet tea out of my Fort Union Military Academy Tony Spangler tumbler, because if you can think it, he can make it. I'm going to try to do the spiel that Brad does because he does it so well, and I'm going to fail miserably, but I try.
I'm just going to sit back and enjoy this.
You can be the Bob Barker beauty with the tumbler while I do it. You be the Bob Barker beauty. All right, then. The Tony Spangler tumbler is a beautiful sublimation printed piece of drinking equipment that comes with a surgical stainless steel urethral sounding rod. Not only is it great as a straw, but it'll save you from gonorrhea, priapism, Peyronie's disease, and other things as well. It also fits in your nostril if you're having sinus issues, just like our Barker's Beauty is showing you right there. And don't forget, it'll keep your drink hot or cold for an insanely long amount of time, and it has a rubber bottom. A rubber bottom. Oh, you got see, and it comes out. Insertion and removal is just as easy as pie with your
It didn't
Tony
look
Spangler
comfortable, but
tumbler.
oh my god, it so was.
SpanglerArt.com, Tony Spangler on Facebook, and you can find him on the Pest Control Humor Depot, our favorite group. Tony Spangler tumblers, him and his lovely wife do any possible design you can think of. I got my military school one, we got our podcast one, we got pesticide labels, and get the girly ones with the bling bling on it. Birthdays, anniversaries, death days, you name it.
Brisses, bar mitzvahs,
That's right. You're gonna get a little lopped off the end there. You know, they
Incan
do a little.
child sacrifices.
Yes, they can do that as well. The Mormon purge, that would work well for me. I'd definitely get on that one.
Pokerama 2024.
The Salt Lake City bloodbath. I'm all for that one. You let me know. I will pack up my entire gun rack
Donnie and
go to that
misery.
one. All right. Tony Spangler, SpanglerArt.com. Get yourself one. They're fucking awesome.
They fucking are.
And back to the show. MW says, I had an old lady who had the worst infestation of rats in her little tiny home. The rats would run over her in her bed and she couldn't sleep. That would fuck me up for sleeping too. They were in her shower. They would run across the room in the middle of the day. I heard them fighting behind her washing machine. There was a watermelon in her pantry that was half eaten by rats. I killed 20-something rats that I found from this poor lady's house. As soon as I got rid of them, she died.
Aww. Doggone it. But at least she had at least a little bit of time to live rat free.
To actually get a decent night's sleep.
Yeah, to get a decent night's sleep, yeah. Then she, then the forever sleep. But
and then she shit the bed. She laid in bed, then she shit the bed.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry, Jack. I don't care how long somebody else has left to live. If you can give them at least one day of dignity,
yeah, I'm with you on that one. I'm with you on that one.
What the fuck? It's and that's what we do a lot of times. We don't just kill bugs. We deliver dignity to people. A lot of people. Not everybody. Some people they just have absolutely no dignity and no shame, and they're but we'll take their money. But we got some people out there, and I dealt with one. I would probably say this is probably one of my worst mouse infestations. Was a gentleman out in the lovely borough of Beech Grove. The guy was he was getting kind of along in years, and he was fighting tooth and nail to maintain his independence, and but when I went there for my first visit, the guy, I mean, I'm sitting there talking to the guy in the kitchen, and just out of the corner of my eye, I see mice just jumping around on the counters, on the floor, zipping in and out of these holes under the stove and shit. He's telling me he can't even use his stove because the mice have chewed the wiring.
Oh God!
They have chewed. He's got a leak behind his refrigerator because the mice chewed the little water supply thing to his ice maker. Excuse me. I'm looking over at his microwave. I'm seeing a hole right on the floor just above the baseboard. Fucking rub marks everywhere. And don't get me started on the smell of mouse urine and feces and
all
this other stuff in his house. The dude, I'm telling you what, Jack, the dude really should have been in a different place, but he had been taken advantage of by so many other companies.
Right.
That I'm getting a little spilkus just thinking about this guy. They taken the guy's money, they thrown out a couple of RTUs and called it a fucking day.
Oh fuck, I hate that
Not
shit.
this guy, right? And I had to tell him, I said, look, man, I said, I'm here. I'm looking around, and I said, I'll be honest with you, Mike, I'm just thinking to myself, holy shit. And he goes, I know. He goes, do you think you can do this? I said, yes, I can do this. I said, I'm not going to be one of these guys that says, well, I could try. No, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to keep working on it until I actually do this.
Right.
So I mean, and then it was balls out after that. I said, okay, I'm gonna see you in a couple days. I didn't even fuck with traps. It's like I just wanted to, I knew I knew what I could use. I knew what would get the job done. This dude, I go up. I go. A side note: I go up to his fucking upstairs bathroom. I open up the little closet in there, and what do I see in the on the floor? I see like 5 or 6 empty, chewed up by mouse boxes of Irish Spring soap. Like, yeah, it's delicious. Some mice find it quite delicious,
Yep,
I
I
guess.
found it chewed on as well. Yep.
Yeah, so so fuck that Irish Spring shit. And so I set out a series of stations. I don't bother with doing any exclusion inside. I get all my exclusion done outside, so all I gotta do is just harvest what's in there.
Hmm.
And I beat this dude's house to death. And the last time I was there, it was he had a brand new stove. He goes, I can hook this up now. He goes, I ain't had a problem. It ain't been a problem. The guy's house was still a shit show as far as sanitation and stuff like that, but we were able to get the job done. But you
Right.
just got to stick to it. But man, I couldn't believe the fucking mice in this place, man. I mean, they were just like goddamn everywhere. The funny thing is, I set bait stations out in his garage. I go in, I put bait stations in the house. Don't judge me, fuck the traps.
Not
and and every one of them had been wiped out after the first time. So I refilled them. Second time, wiped out. Third time, there was some nibbles, but not too bad. The whole fucking time, those bait stations in the garage had not been touched one goddamn bit, and
mm,
that just kind of blew me away. Because I mean, the attached garages are typically entry point number one. The
right.
overhead doors don't seal for shit. And so they're going to come in. A lot of times you've got your furnace, your water heater, water softener, etc. in the garage. They're going to go right to that and they're going to climb up the ductwork. Next thing you know, they're in the walls, they're in the attic and everything because they never seal that ductwork and shit around the drywall, the ceiling, pipes going on the walls, all this
Hmm.
other good horse crap. That's never done. That's where you get a lot of your mice coming in. So if I do any type of interior exclusion at the point of service, that's where I'm going to do it. The rest of it, it's outside. It's the weep holes, it's the pipe penetrations, it's all this other good shit, and then a series of exterior stations. I get it done, but this guy was a mess, and I'm no longer doing his account anymore because he finally had to go into assisted living. In fact, William the Merciful texted me, "Hey, Mike so and so is due for service. Do you still want to do him, or can we give him to another tech? Because he was one of my command performances. I just
Right.
wanted to make sure I
Right.
get him. So I knew what was going on in the place, and I had to tell him. I had to tell Bill. I said, "Nah, he's in assisted living now, finally." And Bill's just like, "Oh, holy shit!" Hell of a guy though. This
but
guy was awesome.
but you
And the
handled it,
fact that
man.
he trusted me, and the fact that his demeanor completely changed. When we got it done.
I can only imagine the relief.
Uh huh. Yeah.
God, yeah, that kind of relief from that. Ugh, Jesus. Well, sit back, reload your bourbon because I have an epic tome of a story here for you.
Have at it.
And what are we enjoying this evening?
Oh, we're going with the old standby. Oh shit. Retirement bourbon. Evan
Nice.
Williams bottled in bond, aged for just under a week at 100 proof. It's going to get you where you need to go in and comfortably too, because it's one of the smoothest week old bourbons out there, and it's got a great price point. That's why I call it my retirement bourbon, because before too long I'm gonna be on a fixed income, and this does the trick. This right here was less than $30, so yeah.
I think us cheese bags will make sure that you don't run out of bourbon, so don't worry about
Yeah.
that. Well, JB has a hell of a story here. JB says, got a call from my town's health agent that they had the situation they needed help with. Apparently, a hoarder had died in his home and rats had been eating his body for over a week. When the paramedics and police when a pair of police tried to scare them away to retrieve the body, the rats around the body attacked them and chased them out. They were able to get the body out somehow, but the cleanup crew wouldn't go anywhere near the house until the rats were dealt with. After confirming that the house would remain locked and would be demolished after initial cleaning and clearing it with my department, I went in and scattered final block and packets throughout the house. Went back 2 days later and did it again, and that was enough to knock them back enough to allow the hazmat guys in to get the place cleaned up. Grossest thing I've ever seen in my life. Wading through the aisles of slightly lowered piles of trash to move from room to room. Big melt spot in the bed where he was found. A pile of excrement about 2 feet high next to the bed where he would relieve himself for the last few weeks or months before he died. Rotten food and drinks littered everywhere. A foot-high ring of mold along the walls, touching the floor everywhere. The trash on the ground everywhere was damp for some reason. When I opened the basement door, I just saw trash thrown to the bottom of the stairs for what must have been months or years, as it was piled up about 1/3 of the way up the stairs, accompanied by the eyes of what must have been hundreds of rats in the dark surrounding the steps. And the flies. So many flies. Craziest, most awful thing I've ever seen in my life. Despite wearing coveralls and Tyvek with a cartridge respirator, the stench still seeped into the mask. I literally walked out of the house after the second visit and stripped down in the backyard and threw everything in a trash bag, including my clothes and respirator, sealed it up in a 5-gallon final bucket, and drove it to the dump to throw away. I could still smell the stench coming from the bucket as I drove there. My God, it was horrible. I smelled it for weeks afterward, like it was burnt into my nostrils. Worst rat infestation anywhere.
Wow.
Jesus
I got
Christ.
nothing, man. I got nothing.
Fuck.
When we talk, we run into a lot of dead things. Dead mice, dead rats, dead birds, dead rabbits, dead cats, dead dogs.
Mm-hmm.
But a dead person, that's just an entirely different level. And oh my God,
Go back to the first season of Tales from the Crawl Space and look for the morbid episode. That's a story about me finding a dead person in an apartment.
Yeah. I have been quite blessed in my 3.3 decades in pest control by never having to deal with actually running into. I mean, yeah, I've seen dead. There's been dead bodies, but not any that had been in any type of advanced state of decay.
Ugh.
So I've been lucky. I've been in the aftermath. There's been an apartment or two where I've had to go in afterwards to kill the flies.
Mm-hmm.
But that's about it. Usually by that time, once the source of the stink is gone, a respirator could typically handle it. But when you're throwing garbage and other things, garbage and bodily wastes into the mix, it's an entirely different story, I'm sure. But yeah, even still, I mean, just the thought of somebody dying in that room, and those flies. You're looking at those flies, and you're looking at those mice, and it's like those fuckers have been getting nourishment from from whoever was in here, and that's just.
Mm-hmm. But that's why you go to the dollar store and get yourself a jar of the cheap dollar Vicks Vapor Rub.
Exactly.
A little slather right on the
Few
nostrils.
smears right underneath the nostrils. It'll get you through a lot. I don't think this would have helped JD though.
No, I don't think it would have, but a little schmear. Get a little schmear right under there, a little schmear.
Yeah. After the show, please disclose me this guy's information so I can reach out to him and make sure that he gets a magnet.
Will do.
Because
Will do.
nothing eases the pain of traumatic stress like a PCHD magnet.
Hey, no, you're right. I mean, your whole family gets wiped out in a bus accident.
That's
PCHD
right.
magnet.
That's right.
Your asshole falls out.
Yeah.
PCHD magnet.
You come home, your dog's in the middle of the floor engulfed in flames. Yeah, we'll get you a magnet.
You wake up and your penis doesn't fall off. PCHD magnet.
Penis. That's right. The P in PCHD stands for penis.
Penis. That's right. Penis. That's what it stands for.
Penis control your
All right. J.A. says, my story may not be as exciting as some others, but I'm in rural area Wisconsin for most of my work. I was sent out to do an initial cockroach job at a farmhouse housing some farmhands. The gentleman who greeted me at the door didn't speak much English, but pointed to the kitchen and said, problem in there. Pulling out the fridge, it looked like a normal cockroach job. Plenty of activity, but nothing crazy. It wasn't until I opened up the first cupboard that I realized how bad it was. When the roaches just started raining down, every single cupboard and cabinet was like this. And when you would pull out a drawer, they would just come out in swarms. I baited the entire kitchen and sprayed everywhere. This was a month ago, and I've yet to hear anything about a follow-up service.
Fascinating. So,
Fascinating.
fascinating. I have done more than a couple of places that farmers that have an old house that would they put their migrant workers up there during seasons and everything and God and they leave or they're still there and they're just freaking completely infested with cockroaches. I had one yeah, there's a place that got houses, I guess they call them, these long ass trailers with just enough room for you to sleep and stash your shit,
Right.
and that's it.
Yeah.
And they're like on a converted 53-foot tractor trailer, and I mean it's just really sad living. For the state fair workers at the state fair or migrant workers and
Carnies.
stuff like that. Carnies, yeah, carnies, and but and I had somebody out there the bed bug, and there were gosh, must have been a good 30 or 40 holes in these bunk houses, and I gave him a very very good price. I mean, it was under $1,000 to treat everything for bed bugs, 2 trailers, and that guy was still like I was too fucking expensive. It's like you're paying the God damn it.
Your people being paid in nacho cheese and funnel cakes. You can
That's
certainly
right.
afford it.
God, man, you're paying the burrito battalion like next to nothing, and you can't fucking pay a
Right.
decent price to at least have them sleep in comfort. You're a piece of shit.
Yep. Yep.
And you know what about the fuck them? It's like
They can suck it.
they can suck it exactly. I hope they found something because I felt sorry for for all those people that were in there.
Right.
That they don't they weren't they're just trying to make some money. So
See, SY says, and I like how the story starts out. SY goes, fuck. This is only like a few weeks into starting this
every good
job as a
story starts
PCA.
with that.
I know. I agree. I agree. I'm so excited. I went to this old lady's house I refer to as the Pinata Lady. I took off with roach treatments, and it was very straightforward and easy for me. This is a roach GPC. I get in, and her first words to me are cucarachas, and I don't speak Spanish, even though midsummer I look Mexican because I tan easily and spend a lot of time in the sun. But your Irish is showing.
Oh my god! You should see my legs; they would blind you.
Oh yeah, well, I've got American Indian from the waist up, but
Uh-huh.
I'm full Scottish from the waist down.
The only color on my legs are the scars and the varicose veins.
Yeah, that's one of my legs. So I've got all kinds of scars from rose bushes, traipsing around houses and shit. Yeah, I do. Okay,
Scorned women.
but this told me everything I needed to hear. I did a quick once over and noticed one, a ton of pinatas, and two, bags and bags of cardboard, and three, which made me get all wide eyed. Every corner had a nest. There was this trim skylight thing that threw up ambient lighting. Every other inch, you could see a little head with antennas sticking out watching you work. While talking to her, I could see them crawling in and out of her hair and on her shoulders like a scene from Beetlejuice. I get to work immediately, spraying, flushing, and baiting. Roaches were raining on me. They were trying to climb on her and on me. I explained to her via Google Translate that this is going to take a few more services as she's infested. We talked about her pinatas and how she collects cardboard from the sides of the road to use for them. Do you see the connection here?
Whoa.
All I could think about was a kid hitting a pinata and a million roaches come raining down on them when they.
And then they all scramble to grab
I
them.
would pay to see that. I never got to see her ever again, so I never knew what happened with her services. But it, come on, found a cardboard,
Found.
really?
Wow. It's like I didn't know it was on the endangered element list. It's cardboardium.
Well, I tell you, it's and goddamn it, I did. There's my crutch. When I used
Got
to,
you.
I used to do a lot of grocery stores, Copasan accounts, and it wasn't so much the cardboard back there; it was the big pallets of bags.
Uh huh.
Man, they'd get in between them layers of
Oh
bags.
yeah.
Oh man, because
Oh,
they'd have like the shopping bags, your little plastic bags you put your groceries in. They had them by the pallet sitting back there, just sitting out in the open. And man, them things were just
oh
crazy
well,
with them.
shit, yeah. And shit, it's like a miniature version of that. In some people's houses, you open up underneath their sink, and it's just like like just this bags, just
Yep.
piled up. It's like they just open the door real quick, cram another one in there, and shut it real quick. And then by the time you get there, it's like a solid block of plastic with little tiny crevices in it that roaches can get. You try to pull one out so you can at least maybe get the part in there to inspect, and you can't. You got to like get your multi tool out and like grab some with a pair of pliers and yank them the fuck out. I was like, I was like, I don't get that. I don't know what the obsession is with garbage bags or grocery bags. And I mean, they are damn handy to have around, but do you really need 38,421 of them? I think not.
Well,
Jack.
the people that insisted on doing that, and I'd had customers, especially older people, that insisted on doing them. So I said, look, do me a favor. When you get your bags, if you need to keep them and you want to keep them, get one of those Rubbermaid tubs with the snap-on lids. And I had the was it PT Advanced Dual Choice roach stations that had both
Uh-huh.
the sweet and the protein bait in
Yeah.
the same station. And I said, I'm going to put two of these at the bottom of that tub. Put your bags in it. Keep the lid snapped on it. So if they're in there,
Mm-hmm.
the only thing they're going to have to eat is that bait.
Yep.
I'd rather them eat that and deal with that than infest your fucking kitchen.
Best practice is not to keep a whole
Oh,
bunch of
I
those.
agree. I agree.
Second best
But you
practice, think
can't
about
tell people
is
though.
what my beautiful bride does. And what she does is she takes them all and she has a grocery bag, right? And it is a grocery bag of grocery bags. It's like the Inception bag. And but we will take it. We will hang it outside the door from the house to the garage,
Mm-hmm.
and then when we just at the grocery store we just when we get done we just put them all in that bag, and when the bag gets a bit too messant for for it to hold on to the little nail we have there, she removes it, she puts it in her car, and the next time she goes to the grocery store, Jack, she drops it off in the recycle bin. And then, yeah, she's at the grocery store, so you know what she's going to get? Yes, that's right, more grocery bags.
Right.
And
Right.
but yeah, but we keep just enough around for all those little things. Like say, I'm going to take some, zucchini bread or something to the office to feed the hungry masses at Trio. I'll chuck it in that, and I got off that go use those things like that. She wants to drop some stuff off to a friend. She puts it in a grocery bag. That's really that's really the only fucking grocery bags you need. You don't need 38,000 grocery bags. You just need maybe 6, 7 tops.
That's
You
what I
know,
keep for my little bathroom trash can. I keep about 6 or 7 of them under the cabinet for my little bathroom because I'm going to go to the store next week. I'm going to have more bags. So
mm-hmm.
I'll like if I get a couple good ones, I'll save one or two and throw the rest away, and I'll use
Uh-huh.
them for like I said, use them from a little trash can in the bathroom. So
Yeah, and here's a little secret: those things are biodegradable. They will break down. So those ones that are kind of back towards the back of the cabinet that you've had since I don't know, the first Bush or the Clinton administration. Yeah, you want to pull those out because when you do, they're just going to fall apart in your
yep, they
hands.
will.
They're
They
just
will.
going to fall apart in your hands. Don't fucking save them. They're fucking roach harborages. God damn it, people. Think with your dipstick, Jimmy.
I'm going to round it off. I got one more story here, but then I want to hear your worst infestation. This is a bed bug story, and I want to hear your worst bed bug story.
Okay.
Okay. EM says, last year I went to a house that had bed bugs. It was a rental property. The people had been living there for 2 years, an elderly couple, their adult daughter, and her kids. Every room and every piece of furniture was infested. There were dead ones all over the carpeted floors in the rooms, as well as on the stairs. There were so many that the people living there had been playing whack-a-mole on the walls, squishing them
God, I
and
hate when they do
leaving them on the walls. I could have played connect the dots. All of the edges of
that.
all of the beds were blacker than um, night. I'm going to say night because this gentleman used another reference, and
Oh, you
although it's
gotta be kidding me.
no, it wasn't crude. He used a specific actor, but
Ah.
just the inference. I'm going to avoid that.
Okay, fair enough.
Um, After 3 hours, to say that I literally killed 2,000 to 3,000 bed bugs is not an exaggeration.
Wow. Oh, jeez.
But as a
Okay,
little hint for you, the
let's
last person that had a body count, as a little hint for you, the last person that had a body count like that I've ever watched in a movie was Wesley Snipes when he played Blade.
okay, I got you.
Okay, okay,
I know who you refer to now. But okay, you want to hear my worst bed bug
I
infestation?
do, I do.
Okay, this one is it combines a really bad bed bug infestation with the actual butterfly effect that it has on an entire community. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
um, earlier this year we got a call from the pastor of a church whose name, I'm not going to, no names. This pastor was concerned because somebody found bed bugs up on in the choir section. So we got a canine out there. The canine signaled on a few in the sanctuary and also in the the music room.
Mm-hmm.
So basically they were able to trace it back to certain people in the congregation who may or may not have had the issue. So those people were connected to this person, who were connected to this person. Okay. What basically happened was the pastor got all those people involved in saying, we will get, the church will pay for treating your house. Okay. One of them was the music director of the church. He had, and the dog signaled on his house.
Oh.
And so we treated that one. Very minor. Another one was the pastor himself. The pastor's house signal, again, an extremely minor, hit. Maybe it jumped on pastor's leg and got took all that.
Right.
So we treated the pastor's house. Both so far, bring in order to make sure we keep everything in order. After the treatment, the canine went through again and cleared both of those houses. Okay, the third one was um, someone completely, it was a member of the church. They had a few more bed bugs, so we treated those, but they were also members of the choir.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the fourth one was someone who was related to the fifth person. They had a few more bed bugs. We treated that, and then there's like, well, this guy, talking about her brother-in-law or brother or whatever the fuck. He don't want nobody come into his house, and so I said, y'all are gonna have to get, you or the pastor or somebody are gonna have to convince this dude to let us in and take a look at his house because
Mm-hmm.
he didn't want no canine. And then the woman goes, "You're not gonna need no canine in this house." And I was like, "Okay." All righty then. So finally got the guy to agree once the pastor said, look, it's like, we're going to pay for this and you're not coming back to the church until we get this addressed. And so he finally let us in. Oh my God, Jack. This was, this was the worst bedbug infestation I'd ever seen in my entire fucking life. I'm
Wow.
sitting there. I'm just, I got, I'm looking at all this, and apprehend is just leaking from my nipples when I'm looking at it, right? Because I'm
Mm.
like, dude, I am biological in the fuck out of this place. Yeah.
I'm not going to sleep well tonight.
And you shouldn't say bull,
Okay.
Jack. But anyway, um, okay, back to the dude. All right. I mean, I mean, I walk in and okay, well, there's a bed bug on the wall right above his sofa. Okay, I'm looking at the sofa. Bed bugs are. I can just see the bed bug eggs and the shit and everything just right
Mm,
along the edges of the sofa.
God.
I go into his bedroom. I pull his mattress back. I was just like, oh fuck, I mean, just caked in there, and they're just looking up at me like, "What you got, motherfucker?" And so I'm just like, "Okay, buddy, here's what we're gonna do." Gave him the prep sheet, and without any type of hope that this guy was ever gonna do any of the prep, right? And and to top it all off, the dude had German roaches out the ass in his kitchen
Oh.
and in his living room. So I get there, day of treatment. We bow our heads, we say a little prayer because God knows I'm going to need it. And he scoots out. And so I'm doing the treatment. I always like to go to the area that the worst area first, and then branch out from there. Some
Hmm.
people do outside in. I'm not that way when it comes to bed bugs. I want to get the ugliness over with right away.
Right.
So I, I do a deeper dive onto this place. So I go ahead. I pull the mattress back. Yeah, it's still just extremely hideous. This bed frame is 3/4 inch part or chipboard that's nailed into 2x12s, treated 2x12s, mind you. So, guys, he don't want to get bugs, and so okay, this mattress is just a regular chunk of shit. And I'm texting the pastor the whole time. He goes, "Send me pictures." And I was like, "Okay, buddy, you're paying for this. You're getting pictures." So yeah,
Hmm.
I was snapping pictures and everything. And I got the mattress off, leaned it up, then treated it around where I needed to treat there, and go to that foundation there that mattress was sitting on, and I try to pick it up and I can't because it's so fucking heavy. Again, 2x12s. I mean, yeah, the 2x12s are just going everywhere on the underneath, and he's got 3/4 inch
Wow.
chipboard on top of this. And I was like, I'm gonna have to call Bill and have him come drive all the way out to Franklin to fucking help me with this damn thing. And then I was just finally like, no, that would be have to file that under things a pussy would do. So I would, I was like, so I was like, all right,
Really?
well, dude, I'm sorry. Sometimes I do have a little bit of an ego, but so it's like, all right, Brad, lift with your legs. I get at the base of that thing, and I'm just like, and then I clean and jerk. Do like the clean and jerk thing. Where you put it on your shoulder, and then you kick one leg back, and you're like, yeah, exactly. I wanted to put some of that powder on my shoulders. It's like, it's
Little
like
that
I didn't
rosin,
need
that
to,
little
but
rosin.
the diatomaceous earth was falling on my shoulders at this kind of music.
Oh God.
Anyway, I get it up there, and all of a sudden I hear just this pang in one of my knees, and I was just like, "Fuck me!" And
Oh.
I just dug in and just whomp right up against the wall. Right? Okay, this is a trailer, Jack, and a single wide trailer. So it's up against the wall. I'm going to town. There's exoskeletons piled up around each of those members that would touch the floor about 4 inches deep. Right, this dude had
Oh
had a problem for a
God.
minute, and so this was ground zero for every other fucking problem that the church was having with it,
Right.
with these rabid
Yeah.
bed bugs. Um, but so I got it all treated. I treated his roaches. I got it all done. Jack, the guy never called. The guy never set up his follow up. So I don't know what the fuck's going on there now. And this was like March, so I don't know. But I heard shit from the church. Everybody else has been cleared. I was talking to Bill. He said, "Yeah, the pastor. I talked to him. He still loves us and blah blah blah." They're just spending other money on things. So that the church building itself needed a lot of work. This is a fairly new pastor,
Right.
and he was pretty big with the pocketbook for a while, but I think he's kind of walking some of that back. But no, it just shows the effect that a really bad bed bug situation can cause to an
Oh
entire
yeah.
church community, and it just blew me away. The really good part of it, the upshot for me is that we were able to get the problem taken care of, and at the same time make a little bit of coin out of it. And so that I my before then my worst infestation was my first infestation because we had one house that was a group home. I think I mentioned it on the last holy shit episode
Mm-hmm.
where the bed bugs were just everywhere. But this one, after I went to that trailer, on a side note, okay, I had to set that frame back down, right? So there was no trying to gently set this frame back down. I
Boom.
but dude, the whole fucking trailer bounced when that hit the floor. It was like boom. I was like, I thought I knocked it off his fucking blocks, man, because
God.
I was waiting for the whole craft to lift to one side after I got done with it. But I was just like, but I got out of that. I was able to walk out of there without a single bed bug on me, and
Wow.
it was just like some people believe in a higher power, some don't. But after that one, I do believe I it affirmed my belief in a higher power because there was no way that the Lord wasn't watching out for me, taking care of these people.
Man.
Yeah,
Damn.
you
Well,
asked.
that's a hell of a story to round off the holy shits. But next week, you had brought up an idea for an episode. Was it about what was that
Okay,
one about again?
there's a very hot topic going around PCHD, my favorite group right now, and it is the eye in the sky. The all-knowing, all-seeing eye of Sauron. Yes, I am talking about dash cams.
Mm.
So, I would like. Here's what I want. Here's what I would like for you, cheese bags, to provide, or you other listeners. I don't want. I would like to hear a dash cam story if you've got one, where you either where it saved your ass, where it may have pissed you off, where it had, or whether where it had gotten you in trouble. Anything's everything's open. I'd love to hear it. But in addition to those stories, I would like to hear your complaints. I would like to hear your comments about, and I would like to hear your opinions about dash cams and GPS. Um,
Well, I've
yeah,
got yeah.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
so, yeah. Jack's over here. Jack's over here. I can see a little drool trickle down his beard right
Uh,
now. It's like he's got some shit. But yeah, yeah. If you send us your stories, send us your takes, your opinions, whatever. Everything's open on this, man. A dash cam. I'll come up with a clever name for the show maybe later. But that's what we'd like to hear. That's what we'd like to see, and that's what we'd like to share with everybody else. So you know, dash cams, baby, next week.
we had another one in the hopper too, though. But wasn't it about ways you've gotten fired or for what reason you got fired for?
Yeah, yeah. One, I think it was ways you wait or other people, you or other people, um, weird ways. I mean, something bizarre. Not that you weren't hitting your numbers. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody wants to hear that.
Right. No, but for
Plus,
stupid
nobody
shit
wants
you
to
get
hear
fired
that.
for.
Yeah,
Right.
something really off the hook, off the chain about
I've got reasons I've fired people, so
it. Oh hell, so have I.
yeah.
I got reasons I fired people. I got reasons I had to fire people that I didn't agree with. I got all
Uh-huh.
kinds of, when you work for a place like the Scarlet Letter, that's one thing you do a lot of is fire people just because. So,
Right.
it's what it is. But I don't work there anymore, so fuck them.
Nope. Back up. Well, boys and girls, this may be almost one of the longest episodes we've done. I think our longest was an hour and 12 minutes, but we're at an hour 8, so we didn't do too bad. So
I blame myself.
no, it's great fucking stories. So well worth the time. Well worth the time.
Yep.
But on behalf of Tale from the Crawl Space, myself and Brad, the Pest Control Humor Depot, our favorite group, and we ask you to respectfully glove up for Candace and bug the hell off.
Love up for Candace. Bug off. We love you, Candace.
Love you.